and welcome to this week's episode of the Part of Your Broadway World Podcast. Today, we are going to be talking with Theresa about her time working at the Indiana Jones stunt spectacular at Disney World. So let's welcome her. Okay. I was like, is everything gonna be
okay? Sorry, it takes a while for my old computer to go through, so but
okay, yeah. So how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good.
Okay, so as my understanding through looking at your TikTok bio, that's how I found you. Because through TikTok, I found you through TikTok. I saw that you worked as a background slash an actress at the Indiana Jones Spectacular.
Yes, I did. So, it's a funny story. So I got picked on May 2015, and I started going frequently to the shows, and then the directors and the producers after the shows they kind of pulled me over to the side and they had to talk with me. So, and then I started going more frequently, and then during the pandemic, everything shut down, and I guess they were not allowing the actors to come back. So I mean, here I am stuck in here in New Jersey, and I really want to go back. But
right.
They're still not allowing the actors to go back. So pretty sad, but
yeah. So how long had you been working there?
So I wasn't working there, but I was more the background extra for the stunt show. And it was it wasn't to get paid, it was more volunteering. But because I had connections, I was getting to be more frequently an extra every single time I went, while I was on vacation. And then but I'm really hoping that Disney brings the extras back, because I think that's important. You know what I mean? Because right now the show's it's not right, without the extras.
Right.
Because I think with the extras is more important, because they see what's happening during the stunt show, and then everybody we react to what's going on, during the stunt show, and it just doesn't. To me, watching the live streams and all, it just does not seem right to me.
It doesn't feel real because you're watching it on a screen instead of being there. Right. Yeah.
And I really want to be there so that I can say, oh my God, I want to see what the difference is.
Yeah.
Why can't Disney bring the actors back? What is I mean, what's the issue? I know COVID's been over for how long?
A year, 2 years?
Yeah. So it just, it just breaks my heart, because I really I'm on the Facebook groups for Indiana Jones, and I send my pictures every time I see the live streams, and I said, I really want to come back so bad. Why can't Disney just bring it back? It's not, there's nothing wrong.
Right.
The costumes are still there.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, and I could get into a whole thing about what Disney's doing and everything, but that's for a different podcast episode. Right. Because there's a lot going on right now that I'm not too happy with.
Right, exactly. I mean, it just makes me upset because I miss doing what I love. You know what I mean? And it depresses me a lot. I'm going through a lot, withdrawal of Disney. And, I watch the live show, I'm like, please, Disney need to bring this back. It's been too long.
Right, exactly. So then I don't know, I might have asked this already. I don't know if you answered this or not. How long were you there for?
From May 15 till about May till when the pandemic hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, all right. And like I do want to get into like what that was like working with other people, like that cast, the
Right.
cast and everything. Like, how was that?
It was amazing. Like I was like meeting people from all over the United States. And I do have like a group picture of them that somebody took of us, and it just like every time I look at the picture, I'm like, it's just not the same. It's not the
No.
same.
Mm-mm.
Like
Mm-mm.
it really breaks my heart. Like I have to see that, because they had to sign like a waiver form every time we got to be an extra. Every time. And I miss it.
Mm. Right.
So yeah, I was there from May 15th till the pandemic hit.
So yeah, not very long then, because the pandemic hit what in
2020?
2020? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
It just,
oof.
I'm just very depressed because like it's just not right. Like I don't know what to say. I mean, I do still have connections. Like I do still talk to the people. Like
Mm.
I talk to the stage managers and the producers, like, I'm friends with, all of them. And I'm like, this is not right. Like you need to talk to Disney and say, you need to bring back the extras because it was also something that we love doing. Like,
Right, right. That was my
so,
next question actually, is do you stay in touch with everybody still? And
oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I do. Uh-huh.
yeah,
I keep
yep.
in touch with like stage managers, producers, directors. I do still talk with some of the people that I used to be the extras with, and we all still talk about it like in the group chat. And I was like, I do miss it. We all miss it. Like it's just something that was so magical to all of us. And then right at the pandemic, it was like, adios.
Right. And that's another thing I wanted to touch on too, is like, how do you feel with how like Disney was pre-pandemic to like how it is now? Because I feel like it's changed a lot.
It has changed a lot. Like I feel like it's not right. Like I feel like I'm still like I'm not upset like as I was, but it's just Disney needs to bring back a lot of things that are not still on the properties. You know what I mean? Like or in the park.
Mm.
Like, the Great Movie Ride needs to go back to the Great Movie Ride.
Right. I mean, I liked Mickey and Minnie's Railway, but like it doesn't hit.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like there's petitions going around. There is one petition that my friend did and we hit the goal and then I don't know where it went. So, but
Mm.
that needs to be brought back. The citizenship of Hollywood needs to be brought back. Because that was another thing. Because my friends were in that, and now they're all over the place. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's very depressing. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
in my heart, I'm not saying like to be like, okay, Disney needs to bring that. Okay, in my heart, I'm very hurt. Like I'm frustrated
Mm.
because it's not fair. It's not fair to the
It's
people.
not.
It's not.
It's not fair to the guests either.
No, because they're paying all this money to go to Disney, and it's like, oh. But all the rides are back and all the shows are back, but Indiana Jones needs to come back like
Yeah.
it was. You know what
Mm.
I mean? So,
And like Indiana Jones, yeah, Indiana Jones is in Hollywood Studios. So I wanted to ask you, like, what was it like to like actually work in Hollywood Studios? Like, that's like one of my favorite parks. If I have to say what my favorite
yeah.
park was.
My favorite park,
Yeah,
yeah, it's Disney Hollywood Studios because I tell people anything can happen at the movies. Because
because it can.
right, because like, you got Batu, Batu, and
Yeah.
you got Galaxy's Edge, and now And then when you go in there, you feel like you're part of the movie of Star Wars. I feel that I'm a part of the movie. And I'm like, now what do we do in the movie of Star Wars? Like, who do we find? Who do we look for? And then when we go back into Disney Hollywood, it's like, okay, so we're like, how are the movies coming, or are the movies coming together, or are we part of the movies? Like, when I go to Star Tours, I feel like I'm part of Star Wars movie. Like, I feel like I'm in that movie, you know what I mean? Like, so everything happens, there's different things that are happening at the movies.
Well,
So
and then and touching back to Indiana Jones, it's like you watch that show and you feel like you're part of that show.
right, I feel like once I sit down, I'm like, okay, so here's a movie in front of me. Like, there's different scenes going on in the movies, like in the movies of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Part is happening first? What part is happening next? What part? And it's like you have to actually sit there and pay attention to see what part of the movie you're in. You know what I mean?
Right.
It feels like I'm in part like where they're like fighting the scene, like all the he like whips the whip and he hits the bad guy. I feel like with me being there at Hollywood Studios at Indiana's, I feel like I'm part right now. Like, I feel like I'm inside of being an extra and I'm watching what's going on
inside of that world of Indiana Jones.
Inside that world. So virtually, not not now, but
yeah.
And
yeah, and like in that scene of, I don't know if I can't remember if that was in the beginning or the end, or like or in or the middle, or the beginning, but that scene where he gets rolled over by that big giant boulder.
Oh, like, yeah,
that's part of that. There's a scene in the Indiana Jones movies with that scene, and right. It's perfect.
Right. And it's like, and they stop the scene after he gets rolled over, and they're like, and then he's saying, "Oh, I'm okay, I'm okay." And that part amazes me a lot. I mean, I think they have that part nailed down. But then, like, I feel like there's a part where they bring out one of the bad guy or one of the guys, and they were saying, what was that line? Working with explosive is dangerous. Where is that in the movie? You know what I mean? Like, where do you see that in the movie? Because I've watched all the Indiana Jones, I'm like, that's not the movie. But okay, if they use that, they use that. But
yeah, right. And I think like that part was more of like, we're filming Indiana Jones, but we're gonna stop that scene and then say that line because we're working on a set. We're gonna act like oh, we're like worried about like the explosive part and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah. But I mean, it's interesting what they do over there now. Like, they they're talking to different characters, and then they're asking them questions, and then like I like the part where Marion hits one of the guys, and see, that's where my part came in at with the extras.
That's my favorite part.
So I was part of a theater group here in New Jersey, and so I'm as an alumni. And so when I first came in May 2015, that part, like, you could see my expressions working in at Indiana Jones. Like, I was like, when she was hitting me, I was like, oh my God, oh my God. Like, I was using expressions towards that part. And like, so after the show, the directors and the producers were like, can we come and talk to you? Because we liked what you were doing. And I'm like, yeah. So I was part of a theater group here in New Jersey, and I did act on stage. I did. I did like millions of shows. And they're like, so could you do that again? So I was showing, like, they brought, after the show was ending and everybody was out there, they brought Marion and that guy out. And I was like, oh my God, wow, oh my God, like, what happened? Like, and they're like, oh my God, you're incredible. They're like, see, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for someone to act out. And I'm like, oh, really? And they're like, can you come back? So I was going back more frequently and I was doing the same thing and they were just amused. But how I was acting, what expressions, and that to me was just the right part. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, it's everything I wanted to be at Disney Hollywood Studios. I wanted that. And then, like I said, when the pandemic hit, it was like very depression set in. And
Right.
I'm just, I'm just, but yes, that's what I liked about Hollywood Studios. That's one of the part I felt I was in the movies.
Since you brought up New Jersey, which is near New York City,
Well,
it's kind of,
yeah,
kind of, in a way, I say it's part of New York because it's like you can drive into New York
right,
from New Jersey, but like it's its own thing. But still, in my head, it's part of New York. In my head,
yeah. So I'm more like down south. I'm more down by the shores, like so I'm an hour, or like 45 minutes to Atlantic City. Um, I'm 2 or 3 hours to the shores, like Wildwood, Sea Isle, Ocean City. New York, 3 or 4 hours.
oh jeez.
And but I can take the train from Newark, which is like an hour from here, um, in Hamilton Township. So my sister was taking, so my sister used to work in New York, and she would take the train from Hamilton train station, and it leads you right into Penn Station. So my sister worked for the World Trade Center, not for the World Trade, sorry, for one of the buildings around the corner, and um I don't know if I could tell, but my sister saw the two planes go into the World Trade Center. Yeah, that day
That
was
is,
very that day was very emotional.
yeah,
That day was very hard for me.
yeah.
Um, because I was working for my dad's brother who had like a printing company, and sorry if I get very emotional because I love talking about this story and I love telling people. So my sister worked around the corner, and like I was listening to the radio and my friend came over and he was like, I think you need to go home. I think you need to go home. And I'm like, no, 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 I'm okay. I'm okay. Just let me be. And so then my dad's brother came out and I'm like, I paused for a second and I'm like, don't you tell me. I don't want any bad news. And he goes, I think you need to go home. And I think you need to be with your family because I know your sister worked around the corner from the World Trade Center. So I drove home and I started to get very worried. Like, you know how your emotions just get really worked up, and it's like,
Yeah.
so I called her cell phone a bunch of times, didn't hear from her. My emotions set in, and I was calling everybody that I knew, and I'm like, when I heard about the second plane, like my heart just dropped into my stomach, and I'm like, oh my god, like I kept calling her cell phone. I'm like, she's not answering. There's no service, like. And then finally around like midnight she had called and she was like, I'm okay. I'm around the corner, like near my friend's apartment. I'm staying with them. And I felt relieved at that point. You know what I mean? So but yeah, so I'm glad you had to ask that because yeah, she worked around the corner from the World Trade.
Yeah.
So but
I
I
almost feel
still
bad for asking it because I know that's almost a really emotional thing for you, and I feel bad
mhm.
now.
Yeah, I mean that was a hard day. It was very emotional, but I'm glad she's still here. She works from
Yeah.
home or she works up in Princeton, which is like Princeton is more like an hour or two away from my house, from my parents' house. But so everything is just coming, together. But like I said, I still miss being down south.
Yeah. Man, that was heavy. Oh my gosh. Um, I was going to ask you. I was just going to ask you, like, have you been to New York and have you been to any Broadway like any Broadway shows?
So I haven't been to New York like this year, but it's fine because I'm glad you asked that. My cousin works for all the Broadway shows. He works for the orchestras. He plays the drums for every Broadway show. And right now he's currently doing a Broadway show. And but I do ask him when he comes to his parents' house, like if I'm over there, um, I'll ask him like, yeah, so what Broadway show? I'm doing this. Like, oh, have you seen any celebrities like, on the streets? And he's like,
Mhm.
that's funny that you asked me because he told me a long time ago he met Kramer. And I'm like,
No,
yeah, and I was like,
no.
shut the door. I was like, wait, what? You met Kramer? He goes, oh, Teresa. He goes, he was so friendly. He was such a nice guy. And I'm like,
He seems like a nice guy.
yeah. And like he's like, he turned around and he called me star. And I was like, next time that happens, you need to FaceTime me so I can say hi.
FaceTime me.
But mm, he does see other celebrities, but they don't like want to be bothered.
Mm.
Because some live downstairs from his apartment,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty cool. So yeah, he does all the Broadway shows and he just loves it. But now he's playing with this Italian guy that has like his own CD out or own videos, and he travels with this Italian guy. So now he's going to different countries. Like he's been in Italy, he's been in France, England,
Mm.
Germany. So you name it. And, and I'm happy for him. So
Yeah, I mean, I know about, meeting like famous people. I mean, I'm friends with a lot of New York actors, Broadway actors. So
oh
I'm lucky in
wow.
that department. Yeah. Some through mutual friends, I ironically enough.
Oh my gosh, you really are?
Yeah. Yeah, some through yeah, some through mutual friends, ironically enough. Just, it happened and I'm like, okay. And some I just like tag them, like the people, some bar actors like I'm really into. I tag
Yeah.
them in my stories on Instagram. They message me back and then all of a sudden I'm friends with them. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh my gosh. Well, the thing is, like, I want to go see Into the Woods in New York, but they're so expensive, the tickets. Like, and I
I
just
think
want to
Into
go
the
see like,
Woods ended like a while ago. Did
yeah.
yeah.
I do want to see Mamma Mia still.
Can
So
I can I give you a recommendation to go see?
sure.
Go, do you know the MCC theater in it's in New York. I don't know where in New York is, but it's the MCC theater. You
Okay.
can probably look it up. You go see The Lonely Few. They're here only for until like the end of June,
What was that show
and
again?
The Lonely Few.
Okay. I'll definitely look it up tonight.
Yeah, because I wanted to go see that, but I'm in Michigan and I can't afford to fly my ass all the way to New York City, so
Right. Oh, I'm in New Jersey, so I hear you. Like, I mean, I don't get to travel that much anymore. Because I don't have a job like I used to.
mm,
Um, I was working an after school program and I hurt my back.
mm,
So, and
yep.
my mom has talked with the principal and she's like, we'll see about next year. So I haven't been working and I really need a job. Like, so I'm sitting here trying to, get jobs and nobody's hiring me because I was born with a learning disability
Yeah.
and it's hard for me to understand a lot of things. And nobody wants to like train me. I tried everywhere and they're like, oh, you need training. And I'm like, where? They're like, uh, just look around. I'm like, look around. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, so, and I'm trying to get a job with Disney, but um, I did have an interview a long time ago on the internet for the Gonzola. the castle. And they're like, "Are you living in Florida?" And I was like, "No, New Jersey." They're like, "So can you commute?" And I'm like, "Wait a second. Are you asking me to commute to Florida? Do you understand how many hours that is from New Jersey to Florida? It's 15 and a half hours." They're like, "Oh, so you don't drive?" And I was like, "Not by myself, I don't."
And if I, even I did, I couldn't drive 15 hours.
Right. Like 15 hours. Like I would have to stop every single time I drive somewhere. It's like, but yeah, so and that's what people are telling me. They're like, "Theresa, you can't just say that you live in Florida in order to have a job. You have to live in Florida."
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to have a job with Disney. Disney, I have my heart set on Disney, but I'm not getting anywhere. So
Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to get a job with Disney or New York for like ever, because I want to be an actress. I do.
really, so
I
do I.
do.
Like
Yeah.
I want to like my heart is to be on Broad is to be like on the shows of like Beauty and the Beast
Yeah.
or like Frozen or
Mm.
like the Castle show. Those three things have my heart. Yeah, did I say Find Nemo and the Castle show, Frozen, and the I forget what else. A Beauty and the Beast. So they're the four ones that I have my heart set on.
I will say this: a lot of because I was talking to a lot of my friends, and a lot of them think that the Beauty and the Beast show at Hollywood Studios needs to go.
I think it does because they're rushing it. That's
Yeah.
another thing I wanted to talk to. So that's another thing that needs to be stopped. Like I totally agree because they're rushing it.
Mm.
They should not be rushing the scenes like that. So Beauty and the Beast takes a while for it to kick in. Like it takes a while to set the scenes.
Mm.
They're doing this. They're rushing the show to be done. And
That's
I
what I
feel
don't
like
understand. That's what I don't understand though too. It's like first it's like it's the town, and then all of a sudden she ends up at the
at the casting.
at the castle. Doesn't even acknowledge the fact about anything about her father.
Right. So I mean, that's they're missing the parts. They're missing the scene. And you're right. I think it needs to be upgraded or it needs to go to a different location and
Mm.
have more scenes, like have more people put into it, like maybe have more extras come in or more village people. You know what I mean? I think that what needs to happen.
And then, may I remind you too, after that, she steps up to the castle, they go right to her finding the rose, and then skip right to after the snow fight thing, and them
Right,
sitting and reading a book, and then it goes to the fight scene with Gaston, and I'm
right.
like, that don't make no sense.
Yeah, because like again, like I said, they're not putting in the scenes that are in the movie or like are on Disney Plus, how they add all these scenes to make the movie. They're just at Disney Hollywood says they're rushing it.
Hmm.
And it's like you sit there, you're like, what happened in that scene? Where did that scene happen at? Like, there an extra scene that you're missing? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
wish that
at the end though, I mean, it goes pretty much in order though. Like after the fight scene, then it goes to him dying, and then it goes
right.
to him turning back into a human, and then the end. So I mean, at the tail end, they get it right, but it's like at the beginning, it's like, what's happening here?
Yeah, like you went from a village to the castle. There's more scenes of that. Like they need to add the people that were in the first Beauty and the Beast, like what was her name? Forget the girl's name that played Belle. But I mean they're just missing all those scenes and you
Or
know,
no, or no, I think it actually goes like the village, and then Gaston's little thing, and then it goes to the field where she sings, and then the castle.
right.
But that field scene's only like 2 seconds, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, like I just think that it just needs to be maybe Disney needs to take it down for a while and add more people to it, or it needs to be upgraded somehow. Like maybe put more scenes in. Because I mean they're rushing, like I said, like again, they're rushing it. And it's not making, I mean, it does make sense, but in a way, it doesn't.
Well, I'm good. Okay. Unpopular opinion. I'm very glad that they are bringing back The Little Mermaid.
Yes, that's another thing.
There's a but. There is a but.
There's a but? Oh.
There's a there's a big one. Oh my god. I don't like that they're changing it.
See, oh, I didn't know that. Like I thought it was like, so
They're,
when I went and saw it, it was really good.
Yeah.
Like I went and saw it with my friend Victor, and it was really good because it made sense. You know what I mean? Like, but I think they need to put that where Beauty and the Beast is. And put Beauty and the Beast over by Voyage of the Little Mermaid. Because that is a bigger stage. And Voyage, they can have more people onto that stage.
Yeah. Because Voyage of the Little Mermaid, I read an article, it said they're changing it. Like it's gonna be the same kind of show, but like that effect where like in the beginning with the strobe lights above your head and like the mist to make it look like you're underwater. Got rid of that. Got rid of that. Not doing that anymore, which is stupid. And then they're adding the kiss the girl scene.
Right, because that does make sense.
Yeah.
And it does make sense where like I think they need to add a scene where they're on a boat and the fishies like kiss the girl. They need to add that. If they don't, then
yeah. Like I'm fine with the whole kiss the girl scene. I'm not okay with the whole water, like the beginning of like the strobe light, they getting rid of that. Like, come on, that's like the perfect. That's why I go to that show because of the strobe light to make it look like you're under the water.
Yeah, I mean, but like I can't believe like when they closed it and now that's been abandoned. I heard that it smells like mold in there.
Oh yeah, totally. I can see that because like that mist probably created some mildew and
yeah. So I think they need to like go in there and like take out everything. You know what I mean? Like upgrade the place. Like what do you call that when you take out everything? You're building it from scratch.
Yeah.
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 Because around here they do that to our, some of our neighbors' house. Like they go in there and they clean it all out and then they redo the whole house. So that's what I think they need to do with the Little Mermaid. They need to go in there, they need to take everything out, they need to re-clean everything and make it from scratch. So
my friend saying okay, and this is another thing I wanted because so like now we're getting off topic, but I don't care. We're getting off topic here, but I need to bring this up because I need your opinion. Okay. I want to know your opinions on the Villains Land that they announced. What's your opinion?
Villains Land?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you think it would that people would go though?
Oh yeah. Because a lot of people are like villains fans, like Superman or like other characters. So I think it makes the perfect sense for Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm kind of glad that Disney found that property. I'm glad that they found the lot for it. And I think it makes sense to have it in Magic Kingdom because it makes perfect sense of the park.
Because my friend, Saint Hooch, which you popped in this live once,
right?
Saint Hooch, he said he's like, I just don't think that they should do it because like there are little kids that like are because there are some little kids that are afraid of villains and they're not gonna want to go into that park, and and I just don't think that's a need or anything. I'm like, well, I can see your point. It's kind of weird.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, like I think it's appropriate. Like, I agree, but I mean, like, like I said, there's kids that are villains fans. Some kids are not. Okay, I can see them just staying inside the Magic Kingdom Park.
Mm.
But for the kids that love the villains, I could see them going there and doing rides or doing shows or doing what I mean, whatever's in there. Um, but yeah, so I totally agree. I mean,
See his
I
point.
love
I can see other people's points too, that like it doesn't make sense because we have Fantasmic that has villains in it. So
right, exactly. And I saw yesterday that they did something totally different with that show. So instead of showing it behind Beauty and the Beast, they brought the show up to Beauty and the Beast's stage yesterday.
really,
Yeah, because my friend went and saw the Beauty and the Beast, but instead it was Phantasmic.
I
They
wonder
did like it
why.
was Mickey and all the characters, and they were twirling those. I'm gonna say napkins because I think they are napkins in a way, like they're different colors. Um, and it was awesome. It was awesome. It was perfect for it.
I wonder why. Because there's that Pocahontas scene where they have to ride the boat. So I wonder
Well,
why
they
they
didn't have
changed it.
that part. It was just like the ending of
Oh,
Phantasmic. They
oh,
didn't have the boat, but they had all the characters on the stage and they were twirling. I see the napkins, because it makes sense.
yeah.
Or tails or whatever they are. And it was awesome. It was totally awesome because I was watching the video over and over, and I'm like, this makes sense now. This
Mm,
makes total sense because they celebrate 35 years of Disney Hollywood Studios' birthday yesterday. So,
mm.
but I can send you the video.
Yeah, send me the video because I kind of want to see this. This
Yeah,
is
it was
interesting.
awesome. Like, I don't know if you know her name is LBB TV,
Yeah, I know. Yep, I followed her
Maria.
a couple days ago. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
so it's on her TikTok.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I shared it
Okay.
on my Instagram, but Instagram has blocked me. I can't add anybody anymore on Instagram. They blocked me.
That's weird because I added you like today, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I don't know. They blocked me. I can't add any more people. Like, because the more people I keep adding, they're saying that I'm going against their community standards.
Hmm. That don't make no sense.
I'm gonna try to email them and say, if you don't unblock me, then I'm gonna report this account or I'm gonna like disable the account,
Mm-mm.
make a whole new one because that's not fair.
Mm-mm.
So I'll try again, but I don't know if I can get through Instagram. So yeah, so that's that.
So then, like, what's your opinion on like the Frozen uh show then?
At Hollywood Studios,
Yeah.
I really love it. I have connections there too.
I love it. I love it. I don't I'm skeptical about them because I heard like rumors or I've seen stuff where they did like that Nightmare Before Christmas show
I
there.
saw that.
Oh, you did?
I saw that and I was like, that's not that's not in Frozen. That is not in Frozen.
I don't know why. Like, was that just for Halloween that they
I think
changed
that was
that?
before Halloween, but like I said, it's not in the Frozen movie.
Well, I don't think it was because it was supposed to be. It's like from the post movie. I just think that like they wanted to show the nightmare, like give that movie some love. And but I can see your point though. It's like why is it in the what's that theater called? What's the name of that theater?
Oh, Frozen sing along?
Yeah, the Frozen
Yeah,
sing along theater.
I forget the name of the that's all I know the Frozen sing along theater.
Yeah, yeah, that's all I know it as.
Yeah.
But like I can see your point of like why is it there, because it doesn't make sense, because outside of the on the roof of that theater there are icicles hanging out off, and it's like you go inside and then boom, it's like Halloween, and like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, I mean, is it just for Halloween or are they trying to bring more characters onto the stage? That's my thing. Like, I don't
I
get
think it was
Disney.
just for Halloween. I do think it was just for Halloween because I haven't seen it since. So I think
Yeah,
I think they just do it for Halloween. Which
right.
which I mean, I'm glad that the Nightmare Before Christmas is getting love, because I love Tim Burton. I love his movies. I love Nightmare Before Christmas.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Love it.
And people say that it's not a Christmas movie because it's a Halloween, but no, it's both. Fight me on it. I don't care. Like it is both.
Exactly. Exactly. Night Before Christmas. Yeah, my sister and her husband love those movies. They have like stuff in their house that is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if you watch Freeform and stuff, but like on Freeform they show that movie during the 31 nights of Halloween and the 25 days of Christmas, because it's both.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do like I said, I do have connections there too.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happens with Frozen Sing Along that they I don't know if you're friends with him on social media, but um he's one of the stage managers at Indiana Jones. Mark Daniels.
Daniel,
So he
I'm
was
not friends with him, but I know him.
okay, so he was one of my stage managers at Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And so I saw him one day on social media. I'm like, wait, how'd you go from Indiana Jones to Frozen Sing Along? Like, okay. So then I saw his pictures. I'm like, wait a sec, you're wait,
Mm-hmm.
huh? Like, it just kind of set me in. I was like, you went from Indiana Jones to Frozen Sing Along. How did you go that fast? You know what I mean?
I
Like,
haven't seen him in Frozen Sing Along, but when I did see Frozen Sing Along, I yelled puddle the loudest I could, and that dude got mad at me.
oh yeah, he did at me too. I was like,
But I'm like, I'm gonna be cheeky, and I don't care.
mm-hmm,
You know that he turned into a puddle,
right.
so
It was such a good show. Like every time that I go back to Disney, I let Mark Daniels know, or I let some of the Frozen Sing Along members know that I'm coming, and I always get front row seats. Always.
me too. Yeah. But I think I get them like instantly anyway, because I'm in a wheelchair, so I get the front row anyway.
Wow. Yeah, my dad is in a scooter, so we get front row seats too, but it's amazing. Like, and then there's
Except for the Indiana Jones show, I'd never get the front row. I get stuck in the way back, which is stupid.
yeah. Sometimes like if I'm by myself, I'll sit like in the middle or I'll sit like on the very end. But I don't mind sitting on front row seats, but and then right after Hollywood Studios, I go to Animal. So, well, okay, so here's a story. I'm gonna change the subject a little bit, but I have a story for you. If you don't-
Okay.
okay, so my friend and I, we were in theater together here in New Jersey,
Mm.
and he was like, "Guess what?" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "I got a job." I was like, "Where?" And he's like, "I got a job at finding." I was like, "Shut up, no, you didn't." He's like, "I got a job at." I was like, "No, you didn't." Like, stop playing with me. And he's like, "No, I got a job at Finding Nemo." And I was like, "Wait, you're being serious, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm serious." I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "I'm so happy for you." So then, um, I flew down the first day. He didn't know. He did not know anything. So I flew down and I got to my resort, put my
Mm.
things down, and I took a bus to Disney Animal Kingdom. I ran from the bus stop. I ran. Let me tell you, I ran from the bus stop to his show. I did not stop, okay, until I got to the theater, a theater in the wild, because that's what their theater is called. And I said to the director and the producer or the manager, I said, okay, so I'm here to see so and so. I said, I want to surprise him. He does not know I'm here. And they're like, wait, he doesn't know you're here. I said, you gotta be quiet about it because I want to surprise him. So they put me down to front row seats, like VIP. And I'm like, so I could not, like, I could not, like, I could not get myself together. And then when he came out on stage, he was like, his face was priceless. He was like, oh my God. And I was just like, hi, I'm here. And so the after the show, the stage manager, I went up to her, I said, so he was surprised, and I was like, I want to say hi to him backstage. So he got down like, okay, so before the show, and I was just like, you know how you get down on one knee and you propose to someone?
Yeah.
Well, he did that. And inside the the engagement thing was a letter, and he held it in my hand, and I could not see the note. And all I know is they took me up on stage, right? And they blindfolded me. And all I could hear was like doors, like closing left and right. I'm making door, and I'm like, where are they taking me? Like who? And I heard like all this commotion going on, like talking backstage. And he inside the note said, meet me backstage, because I finally read it. And here he got the directors and producers, stage managers, the whole cast of Finding Nemo outside and surprised me with a cast picture of everybody. That was the most perfect picture day, most magical day of my life. I could not, like, I still talk about it. Like, when I walk around the park, people are like, so wait, you didn't say yes? And I'm like, wait, what? And they're like, and I got on the bus to get back to my resort, and they're like, so you didn't say yes? You didn't say yes to that proposal? And I was like, it's not, it wasn't a proposal. I was like, he has a partner. Okay, so he's married.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I mean, we're still best friends. We've been friends for 49 years already, and our friendship is still growing to this day. Um, he doesn't know I'm going in June. He doesn't not know. So I'm keeping it hush hush. I'm low key, and I'm gonna surprise him again.
Until this podcast comes out next week, and then it's like, no, he's probably not gonna even look.
I know.
He's probably not. He's probably not even watch this. It's fine.
But like, he doesn't know I'm coming to see him.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm gonna talk to his friend, like his husband, and say, like, you know, keep it low key. I'm coming. I want to surprise him. But he's now does I think he took a break from Finding Nemo for a while. He's doing a show, Hello Dolly, with the girl who plays Ariel. I don't know if you knew that.
That I did not know, and I am jealous. I want to see Hello Dolly so bad.
Me too. Me too. Like when I saw that on Instagram, I was like, wait, you got picked to work with her? You got picked to work with her. I'm so jealous. I'm very jealous right now. Like, and he still posts it on Instagram and Facebook that, you know, he does her wig for her, because like he does wigs for different theater companies down there in Florida.
Yeah.
And he does work with a lot of celebrities. I'm like, how are you getting picked for all this? How? Like, I want to work with celebrities too. Like, so I'm very jealous. I'm very jealous right now. Like, so magical. But yeah, so I had to tell you that story because it's very magical story.
Oh my gosh.
So, but yeah,
But
that's that.
yeah, I mean, I think that's the great part about Disney is they do these magical things. Like they can be good. They can be good. They can be good. They can be good people. And like,
Right.
give you magical moments, but like sometimes it's just like,
Yeah, I mean, I just called Disney today because I was checking my Disney experience and I didn't see any of our reservations for our trip, and I'm like, did somehow like why are my family members not listed? And the girl, she was supposed to patch me over to Disney Vacation Club, and it was like a recording. I was like, I want someone to talk to. I didn't want recording, so I hung up because I don't want to talk to a computer. I want to talk to a person.
yeah.
But
Well, I'm still mad about the Dash Pass situation. So.
oh yeah, me too. Me too. I don't think it's right for Genie Plus and all that because you gotta pay for that stuff, even though you're going to Disney.
you're literally like trying to be cheeky and be like, but you can buy Genie Plus. That would help you, but you're still not gonna get the Dash Pass.
Yeah, see, so I have a problem that I need to be on a DOS pass because I can't wait in long. And neither can my dad too. Like I said, my dad, has a problem walking. So, and he's in a scooter. So he would need that. And so would I. But now like they're saying that, for people who lie are gonna be banned from the Disney parks. I don't get that.
I can understand that part a little bit because like there are people that lie, but again, you can't really like again like how are they going to know? Because some people, I think the whole Dash Pass thing is like smart in its own kind of way though. What they're doing a little bit, but I think they need to tweak some things. I think they need to be like it's just that their wording was wrong. The way that they worded it on the website was wrong. It was just
Yeah,
completely
I
wrong.
think so too. I think so too. Because like when I read that you're gonna be banned, it was like, and like I don't know what to say on that. You know what I mean? Like I'm totally like,
Well, no, like I just think too, like the whole reason why they're doing this is because people have been abusing the pass,
right.
right? Which I can understand why they're doing it because people are abusing a pass. They want to try to prevent that from happening, but at the same time, the way that they went about it is not very good.
Yeah.
Not well. Not well.
I totally agree. I mean, I'm just really at this point, I when I heard that, I was like, how do they know that people are abusing the program?
Right, and that's the thing too, is that's the tricky thing, is like you never know. You'll never know with people because there are, like I said, or like I didn't even say this, but like I don't know why it's like I said, but as I'm gonna say is like there are in like invisible disabilities, those exist.
Right.
Internal disabilities exist. So it's like, how do you know?
Exactly. I mean,
It's just a tricky subject and a tricky situation,
mm-hmm.
and there's just no way to bring it up and know because like, and I don't want to speak too much about it, even though I technically qualify for the Dash Pass with my wheelchair.
Right,
Um,
exactly.
even though I don't use it, but so I don't want to speak too much of it because I don't use it.
Right. I mean, I can wait in line for it, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. I mean, I could just go at nighttime, you know what I mean? When the park, like when a lot of people would leave, then I can go in and just, do the rides, you know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have to wait in line as long as they're saying. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So we talked about Indiana Jones. We talked about musicals, kind of a little bit. We talked about the Dash Pass, which I wasn't gonna bring up this podcast, but I did anyway because why the hell not?
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you a couple more, couple final questions.
Okay, sure.
First of all, what's your favorite musical? If you had to pick one, Broadway musical.
My favorite musical, Into the Woods.
Into the Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had one, like, anything to say to Disney about the whole Indiana Jones background extra thing that's going on, what would you say?
For Disney, so you need to bring back the extras because it's just not the same without the extras. I think the show isn't the same, and it's just you just need to bring back the extras to make magic happen. I mean, people loved it, and it's very heartbreaking to not be a part of it anymore. Um, because if my friends go and see it and I'm on the live stream with them, it just breaks my heart. Like, I don't think it's the same anymore. And Disney needs to sit down and they need to bring back the extras, have them sign a waiver, and get back into the costumes and do what they love doing.
All right.
People love doing that, and I think it's going to be the right choice. If they would just sit down and make a choice and say, okay, we'll bring back the actors, we'll have them sign a waiver, get back in the costumes, and be on stage like they used to.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree. Well, thank you for coming on.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Especially on some like short notice. I know I texted you like a couple days ago and I didn't give you much notice.
That's okay.
Well, thank you everyone for joining in to the part of your Broadway World podcast, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.
Bye. Thank you guys for having me.